Coach, if you would, give some thoughts heading into tomorrow's regional final, and then we'll take questions.
Yeah, certainly. Appreciate you being here. It's good for our sport that this many people are interested in a matchup like this. It's a pretty big stage for us. I think as we shared yesterday, we were able to get our first win over a Kentucky team that, in my opinion, is perhaps at the tip of the spear in the SEC. Have been good and won a national championship a number of years ago, and now we get to go and face what I would think is the marquee college women's volleyball program in the country, Nebraska. So. Yeah, we got to go ride some big waves, and so that's kind of exciting for us. We started our prep last night. We're thankful we got a day in between. For our team, that's something that we need. It's tough for us to go back to back, so the day in between is nice for us. So, we'll get some rest, and we'll give it a good crack on Saturday and see what happens.
Taylor, in this tournament, it's, the higher seeds win a lot of the time. It's a lot of Stanford, Texas, Nebraska. What's it like to change that up this year?
It's really exciting. I think we all believed that we could be in that bracket of teams, and NCAA they believed we did too all season long. We were ranked at least in the top 14, 15 all season long. So I think knowing what we know about us and what we can do, and I think we all know we deserve to be in that bracket of that caliber of teams.
For either of you, and your coach and your teammates talked about this yesterday, but what does it mean to you that you guys are a part of the first ever team in program history to make it this far?
I think for me personally, it means a lot. I've never been in the Elite Eight. This team has never been in the Elite Eight. So just to say that we were the Arkansas team to make it, it's just a joyful moment to every single one of us to be a part of this moment here today.
Yeah, it's been an unbelievable season, and just week after week we've been pushing through and breaking these firsts for Arkansas volleyball, and it's just been amazing to be a part of, really.
Taylor, how do you and the team deal with facing the top seed and the large crowd on Nebraska's home floor?
I think we're excited. It's going to be a huge crowd, and we know that, and I think we're going to just be really excited to be in that environment and have the opportunity to play our game on that stage. And I think we're just really pumped and excited for the opportunity to play against the number one team, and we have had the opportunity to play the number one team previously, or at the beginning of the season, and we're lucky enough we get the second chance to hopefully pull out a win.
Sania, can you talk about your thoughts on the team's journey? It's your first year here, but obviously a big one, so just looking back on the season so far, your first one here.
Oh yeah, so obviously happy to be at the program. I'm happy Jason gave me a chance to be on this team and play next to amazing players like Taylor. But just going into this tournament and being a part of this team now, it's just an amazing experience for myself, and I'm glad the team took me in and let me feel welcome, and I'm happy they're playing with me here too.
We're very thankful to have Sania.
Jason, can you explain your feelings for this group, what they've accomplished to this point, and what it means to you?
There's a lot of firsts here for us as a program, for me personally, it's been said that perhaps that we've taken a chance on these athletes, but I think for me personally is that they certainly took a chance on me when they decided to come to Arkansas. We weren't playing anywhere near like this, this was still a dream. And so I feel very fortunate that they believed in me enough to come to a school that doesn't have a rich history in our sport. And so, that it's a wonderful thing to see what I hoped would come to fruition with these athletes, and it's been an incredibly enjoyable ride, I feel pretty fortunate actually.
for athletes and coach. Just kind of talk maybe a little bit about the resiliency that we've had. Every challenge we've kind of faced, it seems like we've overcome it, and especially all culminating up to yesterday. So maybe just talk a little bit about that mindset that the team has and how you've been able to overcome all the obstacles this season.
All season we've been talking about resiliency, and I think we really take that into each match by match. We fight. We're all really big competitors, and I think that shows each game. Like, we're all very passionate about the game of volleyball, and we're passionate about winning. So I think each game that shows, and that definitely helps us push through and compete at the highest level.
As she said, like, I think we're a hard team to really knock down. Like, we're going to fight the whole entire match. Doesn't matter what set it is, what's the point score, we're going to keep fighting. So, I mean, just going in, like, with tomorrow, like, knowing that it's going to be a really tough game, but it's also going to be a really fun game as well. So,
Jason, how does playing 2 games against Wisconsin early in the year help prepare, and do you think there are any similarities between Nebraska and Wisconsin?
I mean, August seems like 10 years ago. Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, the Big Ten is the marquee volleyball conference in the country, without question. The level of physicality in the conference, you know, top to bottom, is just remarkable. I think Wisconsin's is incredibly physical team, but as is Nebraska. So I think there's some similarities there. I think the style of play is different, but there's some similarities there. But I don't know if we can draw any parallels between what happened in August and what's happening in December. You know, it's forever ago. You know, it's forever ago.
Stylistically, are there any similarities between the two?
When I look at Nebraska, I think they're one of the really elite first ball defensive teams. You know, that block is probably the most disciplined block that I've seen, and that certainly leads to their ability to counterattack in transition on that serving phase at a really remarkable rate. You know, and I think that transition phase is what sets teams apart. You know, that the ability to score points when you're serving, of course, is sets teams apart. But they can do it at a clip that's pretty remarkable, actually. And not only that, you know, when it does get by that block, the quality of that first ball contact is pretty good too. So, yeah, that's a handful, right? That's a handful for us, and so we're going to have to try and negate it in some other ways that we're probably not going to share with you. But that's the matchup. You know, that's the thing for us.
Taylor, was there a moment or a match this year where it clicked for you, like this team is really capable of something special and has a potential to make a deep postseason run?
I think we've kind of thought this all season. I think even going back to that first Wisconsin match, I think that was just an amazing feeling. And we ultimately lost, but just being able to compete at that highest level was really fun. And I think on senior night we played Florida at home. We went to 5, and I think that was a really special moment for a lot of the seniors. And yeah, I think that was a really, really awesome feeling, awesome game. Just never doing that at home. It was awesome.
Also, like, I'm going to say Wisconsin as well. Like, even though we lost that game, I think that being our first match and us just coming out so strong against a team that high of caliber, and just like seeing like this is how most of our season is going to go, and then on top of that, like, us beating Florida on their home court, like, really like decided for me that this is a team that's going to shine this season, and we're going to push it as far as we can go. So,
Taylor, the goal was always to go this far in the NCAA tournament, but now that we're here in the round of 8, what do you hope to take away from this experience as a senior in fall?
I'm just really proud of our team and where we've come from, and we all believed in ourselves. So I just think that looking back, I don't think my head's wrapped around the fact that we are in the Elite 8 yet, but down the road, I just think looking back and to see how far we've come and what we've built for this program, I think will mean a lot to everyone on this team.
Jason, if you could go back and tell the 2016 version of yourself all that this team has accomplished, what do you think his reaction would be?
Well, my hair's a lot grayer. I probably would tell myself to get more sleep and give up Diet Coke much sooner than I did.
I knew you were going to say that.
But hey, be patient. You know, that's one of the things that I think that I've been fortunate at Arkansas, that I have an administration that has been incredibly patient with me in an intercollegiate environment that doesn't always value patience when they make decisions about coaches. You know, it wasn't always rainbows, ponies, and glitter at Arkansas the first couple of years, and I'm in charge of that, and I'm responsible for that, and I own that performance clearly. But hey, you know, everything's going to be okay. You know, it'll work itself out. You know, she'll be right.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
When did you know that it could be rainbows, ponies, and glitter?
Well, I don't think it's ever rainbows, ponies, and glitter. You know, I mean, that's, you know, it's hard. Every day's hard. Well, maybe this press conference is a little rainbows, ponies, and glitter, you know. But I think when we started to get some athletes that valued competition, you know, that weren't afraid of that competition, you know, that. You know, there are a lot of good things about being in intercollegiate athletics. You know, you get a lot of gear. You know, you get your school paid for. You get a lot of really cool stuff. But you got to be about something more than just that. You know, and I think the first couple of years, not top to bottom, but there are kids that just liked being at Arkansas because of the fact that they could get all this stuff, you know. But these kids like playing, you know, and I think that's when it kind of changed for us. Especially the year that we got, you know, the worst graphic in the world is the last 4 out graphic. You know, they show. I mean, that's an insanely embarrassing graphic to show up. You may as well put up the last 280 teams, you know. And so that hurts. That graphic hurts. And when they showed that, and we were alphabetically at the top of that list, you know, that hurt. And then to see them get in the gym that spring and to make sure that never happened again, that was pretty cool. So we used that graphic to this day, you know, like, hey, do you want to be on that graphic? Because that graphic sucks, you know, or do you want to get in the tournament? And so that's been kind of nice, you know.
Jason, that step from Sweet 16 team and program to Elite 8 team and program, does that seem significant to you?
I think so. Especially to do against a team that we haven't beaten in a long time in Kentucky, you know. I think the margins get slimmer, right? The less teams that are playing, the margins get slimmer. But I think it's a pretty significant accomplishment for this group. And, you know, I don't say that we're satisfied, of course. You know, we've got to play tomorrow, but it's a pretty significant moment for us. And this may sound somewhat cliched, but I think it's a pretty significant moment for volleyball in general in the state of Arkansas, you know. And you know, I am drawing no parallels between myself and Coach Pettit at all. What he did in his tenure here at Nebraska is remarkable, right? To build up an entire state that is passionate about volleyball is remarkable. But I'd like to have some impact in the state of Arkansas on volleyball and help that state get better. And it's cool to get a couple of texts last night, you know, from around the state, you know. So that's kind of cool, you know. High school coaches, club coaches, and things like that. That's pretty cool for me, you know.
Building up that institutional support, I mean, you doubled your attendance from a year ago. What do you credit that jump to, and kind of the building of the crescendo of support?
I mean, the simple answer is winning, right? I mean, that's the simple answer. But the better answer, I think, is these athletes and their willingness to engage in that fan base, you know. They're spending 45 minutes to an hour after games on Sunday signing autographs, you know, and we play in a facility that can kind of get close to the action here, and And I think that's a really important thing for our sport. I think our sport, while it's making all these inroads in TV, I think it's a much better sport live. You know, I think you miss out on some of the athleticism and speed and things on TV. And so, not unlike this arena here where you can get close, I think that really plays well to our sport. So I think that's helped. I don't know if everybody that comes to our game are volleyball fans. You know, I think they're Razorback fans, but I think a couple of them have turned to be volleyball fans, and so that's cool for us as well.
Taylor, what have you seen? You signed a lot more autographs this year. What in your tenure, the support grow from the fans?
Yeah, if you told me as a freshman, like, we'd get like 5 up to or close to 5,000 people in Barnhill, I'd be like, what? You know? So it's been really cool being able to see the growth of just the love for volleyball and the fans that we have in Barnhill each week. It's been really awesome just to see that growth and kind of like sit back and like say like we kind of did that, you know? It's been like, again, I'm extremely proud just to be a part of it.
Taylor and Sania, now that we're here and the season that we've had, what standard do you hope that you guys are setting for the future of the program?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I hope the standard is like what Coach was saying about the first 4 out. My first 2 years, we were part of the first 4 out, and that stung, you know. And I think the standard would have to just be you got to stay competitive, you got to stay passionate about volleyball, and just can't be in that graphic, you know. So yeah, you just got to stay competitive, stay wanting to win, and for the program, for Arkansas, and for yourself.
I think, as we're always saying as a team, stay present, resilient, and brave. So I think that's a standard that I hope continues for years to come, as Jason's still an Arkansas coach, but that kind of standard needs to stay for us.
For Coach or the players, how do you guys kind of mentally get ready coming off the euphoria of the 5-set match last night and then now having to face Nebraska? What is just kind of the mental side of that?
I think that the mental side of it is just knowing that we have to have a quick turnover and make all these quick adjustments within just this day technically. But I mean, all of us as a team, we've decided to just stay calm, stay content, and know what we got to do tomorrow. And yeah.
Yeah, Coach was telling us earlier this week, like, we don't have to be perfect. And I think going into like these matches, these big stage matches, we just have to go in, play loose and free, and just play the game that we all love and enjoy.
Last night you probably had a lot of Husker fans rooting you guys on, and now they're going to be rooting against you. I mean, how is that going to play for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was cool. A lot of people stayed and watched our match. And I know volleyball runs deep in the state of Nebraska, so I understand that. But yeah, so I thought that was cool. But yeah, I'm sure we're not going to get that type of support tomorrow. But we're excited to play on that stage. We're excited for that opportunity.
Do you feed off the opposing team's crowd? You guys have gone into some rough places and competed and won.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how much do you feed off of that?
Yeah, again, we're a very competitive team. We're very passionate. So I think we're definitely going to feed off that energy and feed off that crowd. And I'm excited for the opportunity to play in front of like thousands of people, and I think everyone is. Yeah, I think we're just really excited to feed off of it.
Final questions?
Coach, have you picked Susie's brain on how to beat Nebraska at Nebraska? Because she has a couple big...
Yeah, I mean, it was a little... Yeah, I mean, I had to take a back seat when we walked in because everybody wanted to talk to Suze, you know? I was like, yeah, I'm here too, you know? But yeah, it's... Look, she's been I was her assistant at K-State 22 years ago, you know? And she's a dear friend, and she's a wonderfully talented volleyball coach, and we're very, very fortunate to have her at Arkansas. And I'm fortunate because she allows me to be me, and as you can tell, there's a lot to that statement. But yeah, she's had some success up here over the years. You know, she's had some good K-State teams, and so we were back and forth late into the evening, you know, with a series of text messages of what we need to do, none of which we're going to share with you. But but I'm excited to have her here with us as we're prepping for this match. You know, she's been on this stage. You know, she's been in this arena, and so it's really kind of cool for me to be for us to have this friendship that spanned 22 years and still coach, and I think we like each other. Yeah, I think we do. Yeah, I'll go with that. I won't put words in her mouth.
She loves you.
You should see some of the text messages. Anyway. But yeah, it's cool. It's really cool.
For any or all of you, if you watch the 92,000 people watching volleyball in August, what does that say about your sport and where it is?
Yeah, you know, on that particular night, we played Wisconsin, you know, and we lost in 5, and nobody knew about it, you know, and rightfully so, right? I mean, rightfully so. What a magnificent event for our sport, and then as the season unfolded, the sport picked up even more and more in terms of TV and fans coming, you know. And it's not just here in Nebraska, but at Arkansas, as we said, you know, attendance has gone up all over the place. And so this sport is in this wonderfully healthy phase, and I think in the years to come we're going to see that the talent is going to be evenly distributed across the country and parity, if we will, and that's exciting for our sport. There hasn't been a lot of parity in volleyball, as you've seen, who's winning national championships and things like that, and so that can only, you know, improve. You know, the fact that we're seeding this tournament 1 to 32 is a big upgrade over previous tournaments. You know, and so it's all trending. You know, the national championship match is going to be on ABC. I mean, that's exciting. There's a lot of really positive things, and so I think it's a remarkable sport. Clearly, I think it's a remarkable sport. I started playing volleyball in the 7th grade at Homebush Boys High School in Sydney, Australia, and now I'm here in front of you in Lincoln, Nebraska, which, as a 7th grader in a Homebush Boys High School, I had no idea where Nebraska was, let alone Arkansas, let alone Fayetteville, Arkansas, you know, but at least I'm not fixing to go to the Walmart, you know. I haven't quite got that into my vernacular, you know, but it's phenomenal. It's great. It's just such a great thing for our sport. It's really exciting. And you're here asking questions of us about a sport. That's phenomenal. That's such a great thing.
For Sania and Taylor, only 3 seed left, only SEC team left. I feel like there's always this idea of like underdogs with this program. It's been like that all year. So just, I guess, talk a little bit about that and how that's kind of been the identity of this team and how you've all been told no and all play with the chip and how that's all led up to right now.
Yeah, I remember there was a point in the season where Jason all called us, what was it, degenerates?
No, I didn't say degenerates.
Was that not the word?
Misfits, I
Misfits,
think.
yeah.
He
called us a group of misfits.
Than what? It's slightly kinder than
yeah,
what you
he
were.
called us a group of misfits, and it made us all laugh, and it's true. Like all of us,
Clearly it was memorable.
We've all been told no before, and now to be on this stage as a group, it's awesome, and it's just amazing to be a part of this journey with this program and what we've done with it. And yeah, I think that shows like what we've done throughout the season, and yeah.
I mean, yeah, we probably are misfits, but we're the greatest misfits I've ever played with that's probably ever touched volleyball in their lives. But I mean, we're just so happy to like be able to be on the stage and be able to experience this as misfits, I guess, if that's what you want to call us. But I mean, yeah, it's just an amazing experience that, I mean, who wouldn't want to be here right now, you know, in our position. So, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Hey, cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.